saying? No, what are you really saying? Each of you holds conversations each and every day. What you need to know is that you might be saying one thing with your mouth and another with your body. More than likely, your body is telling the real message. It doesn't matter whether you're trying to find a new mate, ace the perfect interview for the dream job you're desiring, or if the person in front of you is telling the truth. Understanding what your body and their body is saying is essential. So, are you ready to learn how to make your verbal messages line up with your physical messages? Our speaker today, Robin Barnhart, has a unique skill set that makes her highly qualified to speak to us on the topic of understanding body language. Robin is not only certified as an expert behavior detection officer for the Department of Homeland Security, but also microfacials and body language instructor. Dr. Paul Ekman, one of the world's leading experts in the field, helped create this program that Robin was trained through. Dr. Ekman is the scientist of that highly popular television show, Lie to Me, what that's based on. This makes Robin just one of 22 instructors in the only scientifically validated program in the world, and only one of 6 certified to teach microfacials course. May I now introduce to you Robin Barnhart.
How do you pick out a piece of fruit? What is it that you are looking for to see if it is succulent and ripe? What characteristics do you look at? Do you see if it has turned the right color? Do you smell it? Perhaps you squeeze it to see if it is just right. What about that pet that you're looking for, that you want to take home and make that perfect companion for your family? What characteristics are you looking for then? Perhaps you are looking to see if it has all the characteristics of a puppy or all the characteristics of a kitten. But when you get ready to pick that pet and you look inside that box, and all of them have all the characteristics of that kitten or puppy, what is it that you're looking for then that's going to grab your heart and let you know that this one is just right for you? More than likely, it is going to be the behaviors of that puppy that is going to win your heart. So what about you? Did you know that that applies to you as well? When you see someone for the first time, instantaneously, they have told you something without saying a word. You are also saying something to them. Are you making sure that the message you are sending is the one that you want to send? To display this, I'm going to do a little exercise. I want to give you all of the instruction first so that you hear them before you stand up and start moving. Let's start here at the ends of the table. Pair up 2 by 2, so make sure that you have your partner and know who it's going to be before we stand up. And when you stand, I want you to shake hands. Now, to benefit from this, don't try to alter it and think about how you're going to shake. Just shake like you normally would extend your hand. And once you're doing that, I'm going to holler freeze. And again, don't alter anything. Don't try to correct it or turn or reposition. So are we ready? Does everyone understand all the instructions? All right, stand. Shake. And freeze. All right, I want you to really look at each other and look at your hand first of all. How is it turned? Remember, you're not flexing it. Don't alter it. How is it turned? That's going to tell a lot about yourself. And I'm going to give you a handout that explains that handshake a little more. Just a brief, if it's vertical, that has put you on equal ground. if it is one of you on top or one of you on the bottom, you have put yourself in either the dominant or the submissive position. All right, without moving, look at your feet. Now, for some of you, your feet are pointing right at each other, and go ahead and let go and sit down. If your feet were pointing at your companions, that meant that you were fully engaged with that person. Often, one foot will be turned quite slightly to the side. Pay attention the next time you're talking to someone. If their feet start turning, they're getting ready to leave. If both of them are turned away and they're talking to you, they have pretty well left that conversation. They're just staying there as a matter of courtesy. Everything we say with our bodies is important. Let me give you an example of how this can help you. I was at work, and I don't see my coworkers often for long periods of time. There was a young man that I was passing, and I saw him, and my face lit up, and I cried out, "James!" And I went over to him. When I saw him, I said, "How are you doing?" He said, "I'm doing great." And he had this smile on his face, but I saw a micro of distress. You would not have seen that if you did not know how to analyze that. That one expression allowed me to ask a question I would not normally have asked. I said, "James, tell me, how are you really?" And you know, his whole body changed, his countenance relaxed, and he said, "You know, my dad is really sick." Being able to identify that one characteristic, that one behavior, allowed me to ask a question that I would not have normally asked in that situation, and help my friend in a way that I would not have otherwise. I have another friend that has a coworker that was going to Disneyland. She was taking her husband and her son. At the last minute, they decided to change the location to Disney World, and they were able to rearrange all of those, which was so unusual. Well, while they were at the airport, both the husband and the wife noticed some individuals there that were displaying some very unusual behaviors. They did not mention this to each other. When they got on the plane, they noticed that the flight attendants were also displaying some very unusual behaviors. They were also talking on their cell phones, which you are supposed to do when you're on an airplane. When they landed in Orlando, they got off the plane, and there was just this somber, hushed feeling. They then learned that the plane they were supposed to have been on, American Airlines Flight 11, was the first plane to have gone into the Twin Tower. The men that they saw, the individuals they saw displaying those behaviors, were the ones that in fact drove that plane into the tower. What was it that those men were saying only through their behaviors and without words that gave away their real intent? If you want to know what it is that will help you when you're engaging your clients, when you are talking to that person on that first date, do they really like me? When you are trying to negotiate a deal, contact lookintheeye.com and ask for Robin. Thank you.
Well, Robin and I talked ahead of time, and she was concerned she was going to go over. You did a very good job of staying right in that timeline. Before I give you my comments, I'm going to ask maybe three of you to share some comments. Whoever comes first, how about that? Is anybody burning to say something? Okay, Stu.
I felt like I was hooked right from the beginning.
Okay.
She asked questions right off the bat. You know, what do you look for in a fruit? What do you look for in a pet? What about us? And so it was a very smooth transition from something we eat to something, to a pet, to us as individuals. And then to do the exercise shaking the hand just got everybody to participate. And then when we had to freeze, it's like to analyze what we're in.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I want to move that foot.
So I just felt totally engaged and into what she was talking about.
Thank you. two others. Anybody? Okay, Candace?
Great stories, great examples, again, very engaging. And one of the things I loved was the call to action at the end. We knew exactly what to do, and I'm sitting here going, wait a minute, let me write that down. Seriously, can we get more from that website?
Okay, nothing's on that website.
Not yet.
How about Julie?
Okay, well, first of all, absolutely gorgeous smile that we loved her from the very, very beginning. I love the visuals, and the visuals were not only the little items that you brought.
And I was afraid it'd take too long, but there's the behaviors.
But you just connected with us, and we loved you, and we wanted to listen to you, and tremendous credibility that came out in your introduction. It was excellent, very good.
Thank you.
Right. Well, I will close up the comments by stating that when I look for your presentation, I look at content, organization, and delivery. On the organizational part, I just like Stu said, you had a very nice introduction, and I found that you also had great stories that supported your points. On your delivery, you were interactive, and you got us to laugh, and you had humor, and the content was great. I wanted more. I think you did have 30 seconds to another minute to have actually given us some, well, how did you see that? What was that dot? What did you actually, yeah, what I would have liked just a tiny bit more content and facts which you could have given us so that this wouldn't be just an infomercial. My 3 words for you, which my Academy knows from last year, I always end with 3 words: clever, confident, conversational. Thank you.
Great job.
Okay.